let's give it up to Nasir, because Nasir owns his shit now. You know, it's a shame Nas don't own Illmatic. But the facts of the matter is Nas owns his work now. He owns King's Disease. He owns all of his works going forward. And he's an example of somebody who said, you know what? I'm not going to take the short money because it's short money. I'm going to bet on myself and own my shit. And then I found higher margin items like Coinbase. And Nas wrote a check because Nas was interested in Bitcoin. He heard about it and was interested in it. And through that interest, that opportunity came along. And Nas was actually pitched the founder of Coinbase the idea of investing in the company.
I Am, its original form, would it have been the best double CD of all time?
Man.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, gosh. You don't even know, bro. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Nas listened to, we sat down and we were in it. We were glowing. Like we knew exactly what we was going to do. We listened to Dark Side of the Moon, which is a double CD. Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Now, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, Nas listened to the album. And that album is a double album. And it shows the growth of an individual. It's like going through life. It's like basically telling an autobiography of your life, an autobiography of yourself through music. So we were doing that with I Am. And that's what Looking Out the Belly Button Window was, him coming through the fetus. If you listen to it, Papa was a player, player was a papa, the pretty brown round. He was talking about everything he's seen from the years of coming out the womb to being like 10 years old. And that's how he was starting it. So when he went through all those, and that was the hardest stuff to write because he has to like reflect on what it felt like being 2 years old and 5 years old and 8 years old. And he wrote them. Project Windows, looking at the project windows. Yeah. So like that, so now you're that age, right? Yeah. So now you're like, you come out the thing, you see your dad, he's talking about cigarette burns on the thing, the music he was playing, this, that, and the third, cocaine in the crib. He sees all this shit. Boom, now he's looking out the window. Project Window. He's going on and on. He writes the record. The fucking songs leaked. And he just quit because he's such a perfectionist. When the songs leaked, he just scrapped the idea. But had we kept those songs and then what he was writing, because the stuff after that was stuff that was the stuff that you usually hear, right? 13 years old, da da da. That stuff was not about to come. And that's, we know he know how to write that.
Yeah.
But when he wrote the beginning stuff, it was just like,
nah, it's so crazy. I think rest in peace.
Oh shit!
Nipsey Hussle, I believe, was working on a documentary on that, and it's so crazy because, like I said, my son's name is Nasir, so I'm a huge Nas fan. And I remember when that came out, I was in junior high school, and when that came out, I remember it was saying like it was platinum in the streets because we all had it, and it had leaked, and everybody was playing the I Am bootleg, and the bootleg was crazy, and then he changed the whole entire album. And he came out with Hate Me Now, and Funk Flex played it for 5 hours. Well, 5 hours.
No, well, I mean, we.
I remember that.
No, 5 hours.
It was, I mean, the record, that song was special. And, you know, it started getting fucking thick, man. You know, when Nas came out with the second album with.
It was written.
It was written. I felt under tremendous pressure. I was 25 years old. I'm helping this man make that album. And, you know, I'm not using a lot of producers that was on that first album. There was no Q-Tip on that album. There was no Pete Rock. And I'm 25 years old, and I'm A&R on Nas's album. I'm his manager. And it's tremendous pressure. You know, my career could be over, but I love him so much. I'll do anything to make sure that he's covered. And we made the record, and if you look at the beginning of I Rule the World, where we used the message, we did that on purpose because I didn't want people to think like, oh, That's all he had was
For the video.
for the video. We reminded him, but there were songs that we dropped before then that was like where he rapped over different beats. He rapped over splitting Phillies, sipping on Bailey's with three Israelis.
The commissioner, Steve Stoute.
We were doing all that just to get it. We was doing all that to get it going, and then we dropped the album. Boom. But now hip hop is growing, and now the way it worked is okay. You make the album, now you got to make the next album. But between that album and the next album, Jay's dropping, this is dropping, this is dropping, this is dropping, and before that I Am album, Jay came on his third album, and he had Hard Knock Life. And when Hard Knock Life took off,
that's a life changer.
Yeah, that was a life changer. Nas had to come back out, and we had to find the song. And it was just like, we found Hate Me Now.
They hate me now.
And then, you know, it was just like.
I always wondered, what like, obviously Nas is your guy, but you also cool with Jay. Mm-hmm. And so is that the time where you start seeing that his trajectory and saying, I can help his career as well?
You're talking about two of the best writers, technically,
ever,
in any art form in the world.
Absolutely.
I don't look at Nas and Jay-Z and go, Maya Angelou's a better writer than them.
Or Shakespeare.
Or anybody. I don't even think about it. Like, I don't even know what anyone's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you're at that level, they know how gifted they are. So, yeah, there's rap beef and there's the propaganda that comes with rapping. Mm-hmm. But then there's the truth, like, man, you're special, man, and you're special. So I just always believed that it was never going to become anything other than the propaganda that it was. Yeah. Like, it would never felt like Biggie and Pac or anything that was really going to ever be. It never felt violent for a second.